Hello, in this video we will cover strings. First we will create them. After that we will see indexing, slicing, concatenation and formatting of strings. We will see string methods, multi-line strings, new lines and at the end escape characters. Now let's open the Jupyter notebook and start coding. Let's create a string. We can do this by using single or double quotes. I will define a variable as text and I will write a string in here using single quotes. Hello world. I am using Python. Okay, let's copy this, paste it in here and change the single quotes to double quotes. This will not make any difference. Now we have a text uh, variable which holds a string hello world I am using Python. Okay, now we are going to take a look at indexing and slicing of strings, and they are basically very similar, actually the same with the indexing and slicing of lists. Let's see. I will write text and get the first element of it by writing index 0. Indexing is starting from 0 from the beginning, and this will give us age. If I run this, I got age. Okay, let's create another cell and write text index 5. Since the indexing starting from 0, this is the element at index 0. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, 4 is this O, and this comma is at index 5, which is the sixth element from the beginning actually. Let's run this and we are going to get this comma. Okay, create one more cell in here. Now I'm going to get the element at the at the end of this string. Let's write -1. Indexing from the end starts from -1 and it's going on like -1, -2 and -3 like this. If I run this, I'll get this dot at the end. Let's write another one. I will call text and -7. If I run this, I'm going to get this p, which is the -7th element from the end. 0, not 0, -1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. You got this p. Okay, let's take a look at slicing. Let's call this text string in here to see it while we are making slicing. Add some new cells. Okay, now let's write text, brackets, and column in here. This is how to slice a string, but we didn't write anything before and after it, so it gives us the whole string. Let's write text from 0 to 5. Okay, the first index is inclusive and the second one, the last one, is exclusive. So this is going to start from index 0, which is h, and it will end at just before it got the element at fifth index. So it was the comma. So this will give us this hello. Let's run this and we got hello. Actually, we don't need to write this 0 at the beginning. We can also do it like this, direct the column 5, and this is going to give us the same result. Let's make another one. We will slice this string from 7 to 12. Okay, if I run this, this is going to give me world. Why is that? Because this was the element at number index 5. This blank line is index 6 and 7 is the W, so it is starting from there and it is giving us the elements until index 12, and it is exclusive, so this word this letter D is at index 11 actually. Okay, now let's make another one. I will write text. This time I will start from -6 and put a colon, and I will not write anything at the end, and this is going to give me this Python, but we can, let's do it from -7, and this is going to give us Python. And if you write -1 in here, this is going to delete this comma because this is exclusive, so it will not take the element at the index -1. Okay, this way we get this Python word. Let's see string concatenation. I will define a variable as my string, and this will be equal to hello plus a blank line, another plus, and world. If I call my string and run this, I will get those three strings together. Let's make another one. This time I will define some variables. It's hello, and space variable will be this, and b is equal to world. If I call a plus space plus b and run this, I will get the same thing, but this time I'm using different variables in here. Okay, now let's see formatting. There are two types of formatting. With this is with dot format method, and this is f strings. We will see both of them. Let's start with dot format. I will define my string again, and I will open quotes and write hello, I am using, and I will open braces in here, open and close them. With this method, we can put something in here using this format method. Let's write after this dot format, open parentheses, and whatever I write in here, this will be shown in this string. Let's write Python. Okay, call my string. I'll get this string at the end. If you change this to another thing like Java, if I call this, I get Java in here. Let's make another one. Again, my string is equal to hello, I am using braces, and I am another brace in here. If you call that format after this, you can put multiple variables in it. If you write Python and write data scientist and call my string at the end, we'll get this whole string with those values. Let's create another one. This time I'm going to use variables. Language will be equal to Java. Okay. Now job is equal to, let's say, backend developer, and I will create my string as I did here. Let's do this. I will take this string, copy and paste it in here, and after that I'll call that format and put those language and job variables in here. Actually, this is the most useful case. When you change the variables, when their values are changed, this string will be changed also. Put job and call my string. This time I am using Java and I am a backend developer. If you change this Python and make this a web scraper and call this one more time, the values are changed in this string. Okay, now let's see formatted strings, f strings. In my opinion, f strings are the most practical way to format strings. Let's see an example. X is equal to Python, and I will create my string in here. My string is equal to, you need to start with f to create a formatted f string, and after that you need to open the quotes, double or single, it doesn't matter in this case also. Okay, let's write hello, I am using, and open braces again. And in this method, you can directly put this variable into the braces. You don't need to call any method at the end. you can just put the X in here, and if you call my string, you'll get the string directly at the end. Okay, let's see another example. Let's say y is equal to 30 as an integer, and my string is equal to, start with f, open quotes, and I am, open braces, years old. You can put y directly in here, and if you call my string, you get the string with the integer turned into a string. And you can also make some operations, conduct some operations in those codes. If you write y plus 5 and run this one more time, you will get 35. Okay, let's see another example. Let's say z is equal to JavaScript. Okay, my string is equal to, start with f quotes, and I can write open quotes z is equal to JavaScript, and my string, I can write braces code. And if you put set in here and call my string, you can get this one. Why is that? Because I forgot to put f at the beginning. Let's run this one more time. I can write JavaScript code. Okay, you can, as I said, conduct any operation in those braces. Let's slice this string, start from the beginning, and take the characters until character index 4. Okay, if you run this, you'll get I cannot write Java code. Okay, now let's see some string methods. Strings are immutable, so the methods we will use will not change them as they did with the lists. The methods will return the changed values. We can see them, we can save them in variables, but the original string will always be the same. We can change the string variables if we assign a new value to them. This is not about immutability. Now let's start with upper and lower methods. They convert all the characters in the string. Actually, they return the converted versions. Let's start. Text is equal to hello world in lowercase, and if I call text.upper in here and run this, I will see an uppercase version of this string. If you are using a code editor, of course this is not going to show you anything. You need to print the result, but this is the good thing about Jupyter notebooks. You can see the values of the variables by just calling them at the end of the cells. Okay, let's create another cell, and this time I will call text directly, and I will see that the original string is not changed to uppercase. Now let's use this method and assign it to another variable. In this way we can get new strings in the converted versions. Let's say upper text is equal to text.upper, and let's call upper text and run this. Now we have another variable, but this time we have the string in uppercase. Okay, let's see lower method. It is the same actually. Text is equal to hello world. Okay, if I call text dot lower and run this, I'm going to see this string in this lowercase version. Let's see capitalize method. This capitalizes the first character of the string. Let's say text is equal to hello world again in lowercase, and if I call text dot capitalize and run this, I will see just that first character is capitalized. Title is very similar, but it capitalizes the first character of each word in the string. Let's write text again. Text is equal to hello world, and if I call text dot title and run this, I will see that both words first characters are capitalized. Let's see split method. This method splits the string into a list of substrings using a delimiter. Let's write text is equal to hello world. I am using Python, and create another variable as string list, and this will be equal to text dot split. If you don't write anything in those parentheses, it is going to use those blank lines as the delimiter by default. Let's call string list, see what we get. So we have a list of strings and they are separated from those blank lines in this string. Okay, let's take a look at its length. String list in here, string list, and run this. It has 6 elements in it. Now I'm going to use something else as the delimiter, text as split, and I will use comma. If I run this, I get another list of strings, but this time it has 2 elements because there is just one comma in this string. So it is separating the string from this comma, and it is not including it, by the way. It is cutting this just after this O. It is using this comma, and after that the second string is starting from this blank line just after the comma. Okay, now let's do another one, text dot split. This time I am going to use the letter O as the delimiter. If I run this, as you see, this divided the string using this O's, and it didn't include the O's in the list. Okay, now let's see strip method. Strip removes leading and trailing white spaces. Let's create another string as text, and I will start with some blank lines. I will write hello, and after that I will end it with some white spaces at the end. If I call text, we will see it in this format. It has some white spaces at the beginning and at the end. And let's also check the length of it. If we check it, it is going to include the white spaces to the length, to the character count of the string. Now let's strip it. Strip it. Text is equal to text dot strip. Actually, that's all. Let's call this text, and we will see that the white spaces are removed. And if we check the length of this new text, then stripped text and call this, we will see 5. So now it is not counting the blank lines because they are not there. Okay, let's see join method. Join joins a list of strings into a single string with a specified delimiter. Let's see an example. My list is equal to a list of strings. I write hello world, and I will put Python as well. Okay. The join will work like this. You'll start with the delimiter. This is the character you want to put between those strings when you are combining them. After that, you need to call dot join and open parentheses and put the list in those parentheses. Okay, if you run this, you are going to get one string from the list of strings, and the delimiter you have written in here is between the texts, between the strings. Okay, let's see another example. Let's say I have a string like this, my Python files. Okay, so you don't want to have blank lines between those files. You can do this. There are better ways to do this, but I want to show to use split and join together. Let's say my list is equal to my string dot split, and use the blank lines to split the string. If I call my list in here, I will see that I have 3 strings in a list. Okay, now I want to create a folder name with these strings, and I am going to use underline between them. Dot join, put my list in it, and after that, if I call folder name, I will see that they are separated with the underlines between them. Now I can use this as a folder name. Okay, let's see find method. This returns the lowest index in the string where the substring you put in the parentheses is found, and it returns -1 if it is not found. Okay, let's create the string. I will copy and paste it in here. Okay, now let's find E in it. I will put E and I will call this cell. What is wrong in here? I didn't write dot find. This is the usage. Let's run this one more time. So it has given me 1, which is the index of the first E in this string. Okay, now let's find another thing. Text.find. Okay, I will write a substring this time, world. If I run this, I'll get 7. Why is that? Because this is the index of the first character of this substring, which is 7. Let's count it. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is this blank line, and 7 is the index of W. Let's find Python this time. Text.find Python and run this. You are going to get 25. This is the index of this P in this string. Text.find a blank line. If I run this, I will get 6, which is the index of this first blank line in this string. And let's call another thing. Text.find. I want to find Python this time, but it is all in lowercase. If I run this, this is not going to find this because it is case sensitive, and Python with lowercase is not in the string, so it is going to return -1 since it didn't find anything. Okay, let's see replace method. Replace method returns a copy of the string with all occurrences of the substring old replaced by new. Let's take this string one more time. Copy this and paste it in here. Okay, now I'm going to change this Python to Java. How can I do this? Text.replace. First, I'm going to write the old character, the substring that I want to change. It is Python, and now I'm going to write the new character, which is Java. Okay, if I run this, I will see that hello world, I am using Java. Again, I want to remind you that the text is not changed. If I call this again, this is still Python, but we are seeing a converted version of it. When we call it, it returns it. Let's run this one more time. I am using Java. Okay, let's create another one. Text.replace. Now I'll write I am. I want to change this to everybody. Okay, let's write everybody. And if I run this, I'll get hello world, everybody using Python. Again, this is Python, this is Java because it didn't change the original string. We are just applying methods and seeing the converted versions of them. The original string stays the same. Again, to show it to you, let's call text in here one more time. It is in its original version. Let's delete this and run this again. Okay, let's see another one. My string is equal to my Python files, as we did with the join method. Now I'm going to show you a better way to do this. I want to change those blank lines to underlines. How can I do this? I'll just call my string as old values. I will write a blank line, I will put a blank line, and as the new value I will write underline. And if I run this, what is wrong? I forgot to put replace. And if I run this, I'm going to get this folder name. You can also uh, save it in a variable, of course. Folder name is equal to this. And if you call folder name, now you have its value in this variable. Okay, let's see count method. This returns the number of occurrences of the substring in the string. Let's put this one more time. And I will write text.count O to see how many O letters in the string. And if I run this, I'll get 3 because 1, 2, there are 3 O's in this string. Okay. Let's check the count of blank lines in this. Let's run this. I'm going to see 5. This is why it gave us a list of 6 elements when we use the blank line as the delimiter. Let's also check text.count. I'm going to check a word this time, and it is world. If I call this, I'll get 1 because there's just one word in this string. Okay, this starts with method, and this returns true if the string starts with the specified prefix, otherwise false. Let's do this text that starts with, but before that, let me paste the text in here one more time to see it more clearly. Copy and paste it in here. Text that starts with H. If you run this, we are going to get true because it is starting with H. And if you call text that starts with, and if this time if I put a lowercase h in here, this is going to return false because this is case sensitive. Okay, let's see ends with. This is the opposite of this. Not opposite. This is showing the if it ends with the specified character. Let's write text that starts ends with, and what was the text? If I put n at the end, I'm going to see true because it is ending with this character n. Okay, let's say is digit method. This returns true if all the characters in the string are digits, otherwise false. Let's say my string is equal to open quotes and 1, 2, 3. If I call my string that is digit and run this, I'll get true because all of those are digits. Let's create another one. My string is equal to 1, 2, 3, but there's an a at the end. If I call the same thing, my string that is digit, run this time I will get false because there is an a and it is not a digit. Let's say is alpha method. This returns true if all the characters in the string are alphabetic, otherwise false. This is the opposite of this. My string is equal to, let's write a b c d, and my string that is alpha will give us true. And as I did at top, if I do this like this, a b c d, and put a 1 at the end, a decimal at the end, a digit at the end, I'll see that my string that is alpha will return false. Okay, those are very simple, and this is alnum function. This returns true if all the characters in the string are alphanumeric, otherwise false. Let's see an example. If I call my string is equal to 1, 2, 3 and ab, and call if is alnum method on this, my string that is alnum. Okay, this is going to give me true, but if you put another thing in the string like this, my string is equal to hello world this time, my string that is alnum is going to give me false, but there's something wrong. Let's change it. Okay, this is going to give me false because there is a blank line and it is not, or it is not a number or a letter. Okay, let's see one final example of this. My string is equal to 1, 2, 3 ab, and put a underline at the end. If I call my string is unknown. This is going to give us false also because we have an underline and it is not a letter, it is not a number also. Okay, now let's see is upper method. This returns true if all the characters in the string are uppercase, otherwise false. Let's create my string is equal to hello, and if I call my string that is upper and run this, that is wrong. Okay, and run this, I'll get true because all of them are uppercase characters. But if you change it like this, my string is equal to hello, there is just one lowercase character, and if I call is upper again, I'm going to get false from this. Okay, is lower does the same thing. Let's create my string equal to hello, all lowercase, and if I call my string that is lower, run this, I'm going to get true. Okay, now let's see multi-line strings. To create a multi-line string, you need to use triple quotes. Let's see an example. I will define a variable named multi, and I'll put triple quotes in here, or press enter. Now you can write multiple lines of text between those quotes. You can also use double quotes instead of this. Let's do the same. Okay, I will write hello world and press enter to get to the second line. I am using the colon, and after that I write the languages: Python, JavaScript, Java, and Dart. Okay, if you call this multi after that, I run this, I'll get it in this format, because you need to, if you want to see it in this form, you need to print it. Just calling it is not doing this job. So I will take it in a print function, and if I run this, I will see it in this form. Okay, now let me show you something about the new lines. If I run this, and after printing it, it is going to show me this multi. And as you see, there are some different characters in here, backslash ends. Those are new lines, and we are going to see them in this section right now. Okay, let's start with new lines. New line is a special character that you can put in strings, and it is backslash n. This says the string get to the next line. Okay, let's see a simpler example than this one. My string is equal to, let's say, 1 backslash n, 2 backslash n, and 3. Okay, if you run this, you'll see that. Let's run it directly. Actually, we are not going to see anything. We will just see the same thing, but you need to print it to see the effect of those new lines. Let's take it in a print function and run this. And as you see, they are at different lines, and we separated them with those new lines. Okay, let's see another example. Now I'm going to create another my string, and this will start with a new line this time. New line 1, new line 2, new line 3, and I will put 1 at the end. Okay, if I print this one, print my string, I'll get new lines at the beginning and at the end of the print function's results. Okay, let's use strip function into this and see what happens. Let's write my string dot strip. Okay, actually we need to print, put it in a print function. Okay, let's see what happens. Made a typo. Let's do it one more time. And as you see, this time it deleted those new lines at the beginning and at the end, but it didn't, of course, deleted the new lines between those characters. Okay, Now let's see another example. You can put double new lines between the characters. My string is equal to, let's start it, one new line and another new line, two new line, three. Okay, if I print this, print my string, as you see there are one more new line at the between those characters, and you can use a replace method to change the new lines. Let's write my string is equal to, not equal to, my string dot replace. Okay, first we are going to write the old value that we want to change, and I will write a new line in here, and I will also write the new value, and let's make it a dash. Okay, now this is going to change those new lines in this one to dashes, and if I run this, I will see this result. Okay, now let's see escape characters of strings. Escape characters are used to include special characters in strings. Let's see an example. Text is equal to, I want to write is it called Python in this string, and I want to emphasize the Python word by putting it in quotes. Let's see how can we do this. Is it called, and I will use double quotes to put Python in it. Okay, if I run this, there's no problem. I will not get any error, but there may be some situations that you need to use single quotes inside the single quote string. Let's try this and see what happens if we do it without using any escape characters. I am going to change those double quotes to single quotes. Okay, if you run this, you are going to get an error because Python didn't understand what you are trying to do in here. You started the string in here with this single quote, and actually it ended in here, and after that there is normal Python code is going on, and this is giving us an error. How to avoid this? We need to put escape characters, and it is actually just a backslash before those problematic characters. Let's put it before those single quotes inside this string, and if I call this text again, run this, I'm not going to see any errors in here. Okay, this is all for strings.